You have been told that even like a chain, you are as weak as your weakest link. This is but half the truth. You are also as strong as your strongest link. To measure you by your smallest deed is to reckon the power of ocean by the frailty of its foam. To judge you by your failures is to cast blame upon the seasons for their inconstancy. You are like an ocean, and though heavy grounded ships await the tide upon your shores, yet even like an ocean you cannot hasten your tides. And like the season you are also, and though in your winter you deny your spring, yet spring reposing within you smiles in her drowsiness and is not offended. Think not I say these things in order that you may say the one to the other, he praised us as well. He saw but the good in us. I only speak to you in words of that which you yourselves know in thought. And what is word knowledge but a shadow of wordless knowledge? Your thoughts and my words are waves from a sealed memory, and keeps records of your yesterdays, and of the ancient days when the earth knew not us nor herself, and nights when earth was upwrought with confusion. Wise men have come to you to give you of their wisdom. I came to take of your wisdom. And behold, I have found that which is greater than wisdom. It is a flame spirit, in you ever gathering more of itself, while you, heedless of its expansion, bewail the withering of your days. It is life in quest of life, and bodies that fear the grave. There are no graves here. These mountains and plains are a cradle and a stepping stone. Whenever you pass by the field where you have laid your ancestors, look well thereupon, and you shall see yourselves and your children dancing hand in hand. Verily you often make merry without knowing. Others have come to you whom for golden promises made unto your faith you have given but riches and power and glory. Less than a promise have I given, and yet more generous have you been to me. You have given me deeper thirsting after life. Surely there is no greater gift to a man than that which turns all his aims into parching lips and a life into a fountain. And in this lies my honor and my reward, that whenever I come to the fountain to drink, I found the living water itself thirsty, and it drinks me while I drink it. Some of you have deemed me proud and overshy to receive gifts. Too proud indeed am I to receive wages but not gifts. And though I have eaten berries among the hills when you would have had me sit at your board, and slept in the portico of the temple when you would gladly have sheltered me, yet was it not your loving mindfulness of my days and my nights that made my food sweet to my mouth and girdled my sleep with visions. For this I bless you most. You give me much, I know not that you give at all. Verily the kindness that gazes upon itself in a mirror turns to stone, and a good deed that calls itself by tender names becomes the parent to a curse. And some of you have called me aloof and drunk with my own aloneness. And you have said, he holds counsel with the trees of the forest, but not with men. He sits alone on hilltops and looks down upon our city. True it is that I have climbed the hills and walked in remote places. How could I have seen you from that great height or a great distance? How can one be indeed near unless he be far? And others among you called unto me, not in words, and they said, Stranger, stranger, lover of unreachable heights, Why dwell you amongst the summits where eagles build their nests? Why seek you the unattainable? What storms would you trap in your net? What vaporous birds do you hunt in the sky? Come and be one of us. Descend and appease your hunger with our bread and quench your thirst with our wine. In the solitude of their souls they said these things, but were their solitude deeper, they would have known that I sought but the secret of your joy and your pain. And I hunted only your larger selves that walk the sky. But the hunter was also the hunted. For many of my arrows left my bow only to seek my own breast. And the flyer was also the creeper, for when my wings were spread in the sun, their shadow upon the earth was a turtle. For when my wings were spread in the sun, yes, a turtle. And I, the believer, who was also the doubter, for often have I put my finger in my own wound, that I might have the greater belief in you, and the greater knowledge of you. And it is with this belief and this knowledge that I say you are not enclosed within your bodies, nor confined to houses or fields. That which in you dwells above the mountain and rose with the wind. It is not a thing that crawls into the sun for warmth or dig holes into darkness for safety, but a thing free, a spirit that envelops the earth and moves it in the ether. If these vague words, then seek not to clear them. If these be vague works, then seek not to clear them. Vague and nebulous is the beginning of all things, but not their end. And if I fain would have you remembered me as beginning, life and all that lives is conceived in the mist and not in the crystal. And who knows but a crystal is mist and decay. This would I have you remember in remembering me. That which seems most feeble and bewildered in you is the strongest and most determined. It is not your breath that has erected and hardened the structure of your bones, is it not? And is it not a dream which none of you remember, having dreamt, that built your city and fashioned all there is in it? Could you but see the tides of the breath, you would cease to see all else. And if you could hear the whispering of the dream, you would hear no other sound. But you do not see, nor do you hear. And it is well that veil the clouds your eyes shall be lifted by hands that wove it, and the clay that fills your ears shall be pierced by those fingers that kneaded it. And you shall see, you shall hear, yet you shall not deplore having known blindness, nor regret having been deaf. For in that day you shall know the hidden purposes in all things, and you shall bless darkness as you would bless light. After saying these things, he looked about him, and he saw the pilot of his ship standing by the helm and gazing now at the full sails and now at the distance. And he said, "Patient over patient is the captain of my ship." The wind blows, and restless are the sails. Even the rudder begs direction, yet quietly my captain awaits my silence. And these my mariners who have heard the choir of the greater sea, they too have heard me patiently. Now they shall wait no longer. I am ready. The stream has reached the sea, and once more the great mother holds her son against her breast. Fare you well, people of Orphalese. This day has ended. It is closing upon us, even as the water lily upon its own tomorrow. That was given us here. What was given us here, we shall keep. And if it suffices not, then again must we come together, and together stretch our hands unto the giver. Forget not that I shall come back to you. And little while may my longing shall gather dust and foam for another body. A little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me. Farewell to you, and the youth I have spent with you. It was but yesterday we met in a dream. You have sung to me in my aloneness, and I, of your longings, have built a tower in the sky. But now out sleep has fled, and our dream is over. Our sleep has fled, and our dream is over, and it is no longer dawn. The noontide is upon us, and our half-waking has turned to fuller day, and we must part. If in the twilight of memory we would meet once more, we shall speak again together, and you shall sing to me a deeper song. And if our hands should meet in another dream, we shall build another tower in the sky. So saying, he made a signal to the seamen, and straightway they weighed anchor and cast the ship loose from its moorings, and they moved eastward. And a cry came from the people as from a single heart, and it rose into the dusk and was carried out over the sea like a great trumpeting. Only Mitra was silent, gazing after the ship until it had vanished into the mist. And when all the people were dispersed, she still stood alone upon the sea wall, remembering in her heart his saying, a little while, a moment of rest upon the wind, and another woman shall bear me.